Zed's World back with another one. If you're watching the channel, subscribe to the channel, give a video a like, leave a comment below. Yo, you see the Puffy documentary? A lot of lies and fake narratives have been exposed on that Puffy documentary. You get me? A lot of you people, yeah. Let me just get this out the way straight away as well, because a lot of people will be in the comments talking shit. Listen, I do not care about Puffy. I've not been a Puffy fan since he was with Mace back in the 90s. I don't care. If they would have locked up Puffy for life, then that would have been on Puffy. Free Lil Durk, though. You get me now? I'd be upset if Durk goes to jail, gets life. You get me? I don't really care about Puffy. I don't care. You know, if you're doing something bad, make them go. Like I said, man, I'm just for the truth. I'm just for the truth. That's it. I know a lot of you people are surface level listeners, but when it comes to Puffy, Biggie, and Tupac, I've been doing my research on that since way years ago, way back in the day. So a lot of stuff on that documentary, yeah, where they're talking about Puffy. Puffy knew the people who killed Tupac. Yeah, cool. He knew who there was. He probably did offer them a bounty, but Tupac did not die behind Puffy. Tupac died behind his own actions, kicking off a fight. He actually got the ball rolling on his own death. That's for one. When Tupac got shot at the studio the first time before he died in New York, that was nothing to do with Puffy as well. If you know, you do your research. The real Tupac fans know that Tupac was messing with Jimmy Henchman and Haitian Jack. They are the people behind that. That's another one. Go and do your research. All you surface level listeners ain't going to understand that. And you're going to be like, are you defending Puffy? Now I'm just defending the truth. My question is, yeah, people, we all hate Puffy. Well, I don't hate Puffy. I don't really care about Puffy. Whatever he's done bad, he needs to pay for. But my question is, if you, I'm on about you lot. If you lot hate someone so bad, is it okay to lie on them even more, to tarnish their name even more? That's my question. So when you leave, if you leave a comment in my thing below, answer that question as well. Don't dance around it and skip. Answer that question. When you hate somebody, is it okay to lie on their name to tarnish it even more? Yeah, just put yes or no. Yeah, it is. If it's not, if you're saying yeah, then I understand it, because a lot of lies are being exposed on this Puffy documentary, and it's slightly agenda driven. 50 Cent made it. We all, come on, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying a lot of things on there are true as well, but there's a lot of things on there that are lies and false narratives. And I'm just saying, my whole thing is, if you're gonna drag someone's name through the mud, drag it with the truth. I don't care how much I don't like you, you know, but if I'm not gonna lie on your name to make you look bad. I don't care. That's just me, innit? You see, you will understand who's ignorant and who's not when stuff like that happens, because I don't care. I don't care, man. I'm coming with facts. I'm coming with facts to drag your name. If I can't come with the facts, I'm not dragging your name. So we're gonna get into it anyway. You get me? This guy here, do some research on this guy here first and foremost. His name is Torre. I can't remember his last name. His first name's Torre. He's a hip-hop publicist. He's been around since the 90s, messing with Diddy, Puffy, spoke to all of them. He's been heavy in the hip-hop. He has been heavy in the hip-hop scene. You know what I'm trying to say? He has interviewed Puffy and Biggie himself. He's been around when certain situations these lot are talking about in the documentaries happen. So he is a very valid guy. You get me? He's a very valid guy. So he is debunking certain stuff about this documentary. And like I said before, not everything is lies and false narratives. There's some truth. There definitely will be truth in the documentary, but there's a lot of lies and false narratives in there as well. And that's my only problem. Like, yo, I just want to hear the truth. That's me anyway. I don't know you. Some of you lot are probably okay with downing someone's name with lies. I've never been that. I'm just gonna try and be some people would destroy their own credibility to destroy someone else's credibility. And I've never been that guy. But yeah, let's get into this anyway. Do your research on Torre though anyway. Very valid guy. You get me? Let's get into this first piece.
Another thing that Diddy Doc got totally wrong. Big was never supposed to be on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Before he was assassinated, Biggie had an opportunity to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. We were delivering the elements so that can happen. And Sean called me and said, pull that cover. I need to be on the cover. My solo album is coming in July, No Way Out, and I need to amp that up. He took the cover from Biggie.
So that story is totally wrong. Big was never supposed to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. How do I know? I'm part of the Rolling Stone family. This is my story. And this, and this. When Kirk said Puff called Rolling Stone and dictated to them who would be on the cover, I was like, that is not how things have ever gone. So I called my old friend Jody Peckman, who was the photo director at the time that this photo was taken. She art directed this cover. She went back to the man who was the editor-in-chief at that time, and they both remember, no, Biggie was never supposed to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. Puffy did not take it from him. He never had it. At that time, it was really hard to get a rapper on the cover of Rolling Stone. But when I'll Be Missing You blew up, the editor-in-chief of Rolling Stone, Sid Holt, said maybe we can get the boss Jan Wenner to go for Puff on the cover. But they had to create an awesome photograph to get this over the finish line. Puff came into the photo shoot and was willing to take his shirt off. The great photograph plus the monster single made it like, okay, it's time to put Puff on the cover. This was an entirely internal conversation. At no point is Puff able to call Rolling Stone and say, you're gonna put me on the cover. That's what happened. It's not a defense of Puff, it's an assertion of the truth. Some of y'all said, I'ma believe Kirk because Bad Boy is his turf. Fine, go with that. This is part of my professional family. I know how this magazine works. I have worked with these people. This is my turf. I don't understand how people are like, you're defending Puff when I made a video saying he might have unalived his ex-wife. I found another thing that Diddy died.
So there you go there. This is just one. I've got a few to show of this guy here. So you lot can watch that here. You lot can watch that and take that in. There'll still be some people that will get hit with facts and be like, nah, I don't care. Puffy's still rare. But that's just being ignorant, any. This guy has just come with facts. And this guy is, like he said at the end, he's not defending Puffy. He made a documentary saying Puffy probably unalived his ex-wife. So he's got nothing to, so it's not like he's here to defend Puffy. He's just seeing lies and exposing the lies. He don't care about Puffy. You get me? He does not care about Puffy. But like me, like a man like me, I just don't want to see someone be lied on. Stop tarnishing people's names with lies. That I don't like that. I don't like that. But that's Exhibit A, and let's go. Let's carry on.
I just gotta talk about one moment in the Diddy doc.
That's how real it is. I think somebody's trying to kill me. I'll be waking up paranoid. I'll be really scared. I just be paranoid.
So I did that interview. He's talking to me. The doc places this. I believe this man has done a lot of horrible things.
Sorry, it clicked off. We'll go back on
I just
that.
gotta talk about.
But look, he's saying that this clip where you see him Biggie talk, where he's saying, I'm scared, I believe somebody's gonna kill me. Biggie is talking to him. Biggie is talking to him. You get me? He done this interview. That's how valid this guy is. You know what I'm saying? So here we go with this, innit?
About one moment in the Diddy doc.
That's how real it is. I think somebody's trying to kill me. I'll be waking up paranoid. I'll be really scared. I just be paranoid.
So I did that interview. He's talking to me. The doc places this right before Peterson Auto Museum, March 9th.
So the documentary put that clip in right before Biggie died, yeah? Biggie died in 1997. You know what I'm saying, yeah? They put that clip in there to make it seem like Biggie said it not long before he died.
But you know what? We did that interview on the first album. That's him talking about the street.
On Biggie's first album was in 94. So they put up a 94 a 1994 clip and tried to make out that the clip was made in 1997, not long before he died. You get me? And how does he know? How does he know? He's the one who done the interview. He done that interview with Biggie in 94. And they made out that clip was a clip from 97 in the documentary.
Not the game. That's him talking about, I'm afraid of getting knocked off on the street. The first time I interviewed him, we were sitting in the hallway of his building, and if anybody started walking up, somebody from the crew would go down with a hammer. Who's that? Big said to me, I am afraid of the street. But I gotta be out here. I gotta live. I gotta show him my music. I gotta show him I'm not afraid. But I am definitely afraid. But the doc makes it like that bite about his fear relates to the Big Pac situation and his fear ahead of going to LA. He may have been afraid because he knew that he was in danger being in LA in that moment, but that clip is way out of context. It's from years earlier. I just gotta talk about one moment in the Diddy doc.
So there you go there as well. He's letting you know. He done that interview with Biggie years earlier. But in the documentary, they painted the narrative like, yo, that was like a recent interview before he died. And look, so he ain't credible. The guy that actually interviewed Biggie. I know a lot of people are watching this, just still vexed, still, you know what I'm saying? Ignorance is going to be ignorance. Some people are going to watch these clips I show you and still be like, nah, I don't care. Puffy did it. I don't care. But if that's the case, go and show some proof then. Go and get proof. I'm giving you proof about the lies that was in the documentary. That's all I'm doing. I'm not saying the documentary is 100% fake. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there was lies and fake narratives. And a lot of people in that documentary who was just disgruntled and bitter about Puffy anyway. So I don't like stuff like that. I just want to see the real. That's all. And I'm a real hip-hop historian, yeah? I've done all my research on the Puffy and Biggie stuff. You get me? I all know how they all died. You get me? So that's on you lot. You get me? That's on you lot if you lot free. This is another clip.
I believe this man has done a lot of horrible things. I believe Pac beat up a Crip and that Crip came back and got him. Period. I believe Cheo Coker's reporting from back then that Big very much wanted to be in LA and he very much wanted to stay.
So in the documentary, sorry, they paint a picture like Puffy had Tupac killed when Tupac actually got himself killed by beating up these guys, which are Puffy's brethren as well. We can't deny that they are Puffy's brethren. But if Tupac never beat up them guys that night there, he wouldn't have died because of that. I'm not saying couple weeks, couple days after, he probably could have got killed. I believe Puffy did put money on his head, but that night there, they did not kill Tupac because of Puffy. They killed Tupac because of what Tupac did. And they make out like Diddy had Biggie staying in LA longer than he wanted to when Biggie actually wanted to stay in LA himself. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of narratives are being painted, man.
In LA longer, and he extended his stay himself because he was having a great time in LA. I don't believe anyone coerced him to stay in LA longer than he wanted to. I believe he was extremely scared back then because someone had already been unalived in Atlanta, but I don't think he unalived any rappers. I believe he tried to make the expenses for the funeral recoupable.
You know what? We're gonna go into that another thing because I've got something to do with that differently. But yeah, like you get me. This is from somebody. If this guy ain't credible, I don't know. This guy's probably a lot more credible than people who were talking on the documentary. This guy's probably more credible than that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So all I'm saying is like, yo, I'm ready to drag Diddy through the mud as well, you know. But I'm not ready to drag Diddy through the mud with lies. And there's more other things in the documentary, but I'm not gonna go into it. I'm just giving you like a little sample of some of the things that was exposed as lies. You get me? I'm just giving you a few of them. There's this clip here, look.
Position of his best friend in every article and publication, and that necessarily true.
And I'm going to be there for them, just like he would be there for them to make sure that they're all right.
Sean said we're going to do the biggest funeral for Biggie that New York has ever seen. And we start to put that together. He starts to see the price. And he says, we're going to do the biggest funeral, but Biggie's going to have to pay for this funeral. He was going to make the funeral be a recoupable charge to Biggie in death.
This is one of my closest friends, and it's still one of my closest friends.
And that there, I believe, is a lie, by the way. I had to pause that. Puffy talks like Biggie was one of his closest friends or his best friend. He wasn't. You get me? So Puffy is lying there. He wasn't. Junior Mafia, D-Rock and all that. You see that brother carrying the casket there? His name's D-Rock. That's one of Biggie's best friends. These man were Biggie's best. Puffy was never. Diddy was at Puffy. Biggie was actually mad about the deal that he had with Puffy and all that. He wanted to change the deal. You get me? He wanted a better deal than that. Biggie did not mess with Puffy as much as Puffy makes out. That's a lie there. Puffy is lying there. That's true there in the documentary. Puffy and Biggie weren't as tight as Puffy goes on like he was.
I feel his loss. I just miss him so much.
Sean doing a big show looks good on him. But he's not going to tell the world that Biggie was going to pay for it.
So in this clip here, they make out like Puffy started setting up Biggie's funeral, but he realized how much it cost and he made Biggie pay for his own funeral. This gets debunked as well. This gets exposed as a lie as well. You know what I'm saying? This gets exposed as a lie as well.
Speak to Wayne Burrow. Alrighty, y'all. So yesterday I was able to speak to Wayne Burrow, who worked with Miss Violetta Wallace, who is the mother of Biggie Smalls and managing her son's estate. Now he reached out to me, or I reached out to him, and then he was like, "Okay, I'm willing to get on the phone with you," because he says that a lot of people have been blowing them up following this documentary. And he wanted to speak out, and he made it clear that this is on behalf of Miss Violetta Wallace. He says there are a few allegations that he wanted to address from the doc. So number one, there's this allegation from the documentary that Diddy used Biggie's record label deal, or his own money, Biggie's own money, to pay for Biggie's funeral. So Wayne tells me that is completely not true, that he himself officiated the funeral. And
this guy who spoke to her told her he was the one who officiated the funeral, and the narrative that got made that Biggie paid for his own funeral is a lie. This is coming from the horse's mouth who organized the funeral. So I don't know if you're gonna listen to this and still be like, nah, that's just being ignorant, ain't it? That's just being ignorant. But let's go again.
Self-officiated the funeral and planned it along with Kirk Burrows, who is in the documentary, Bad Boy staff, and that Bad Boy paid for everything. At no point was there any indication that any royalty statement that this would be coming from Biggie's account. So the family never paid for anything in regards to the funeral. He said Bad Boy and Diddy covered everything from the cars to the police to the funeral itself. And they wanted to make that clear. And he also says that it's disrespectful that anybody would even imply that, Miss Wallace, Biggie's mom, or any of his close friends would even be that naive to allow something like that to happen and not catch it as they're watching the royalty statements and just different things that are coming in. He also talked to me a bit about the contract conversation. So there is a claim in the doc, and this has been a claim that's been circulating for some time, that right before Biggie's passing, there was an issue with contract negotiations between Diddy and Biggie Smalls. He says that is completely not true as well. He says that life after death was already done, so there was no contract negotiations happening. He says based on the sales and of the records and how everything was moving, Biggie had already recouped. So at that point, there was nothing to be talked about. But they did go back into a negotiation because they put out more music following the death of Biggie Smalls. And the conversation they had then was just about how that would happen and, how splits would be. But that whole conversation around the contract and there being an issue with that as well, there's nothing to talk about. He says the contract was the contract and people just need to leave it at that.
And Barrow is Biggie's friend. He also managed Biggie at one point. He owned a remember that what was it called? Oh, Jesus Christ. By Storm Entertainment. That's what they ran, which was a management company. I think they managed Shine at one point. They managed Nas at one point. They managed, of course, B.I.G. So he would know, right?
You mean
And he also
Wayne
manages the
Burrow?
estate. Yeah, Wayne Burrow. Yeah, he
yes,
also
yes,
manages the
yes.
estate.
He actively, up until the point that Miss Wallace passed away, was still involved in the estate, and he was saying that they had a process that they would do and it was Miss Wallace's wishes that they would do it this way, where they're not checking accounts and royalty statements just one time. She checked everything twice. It was very important for her to make sure that the money and everything was like paid attention to very heavily, because she wanted to make sure they didn't owe anybody anything, that they weren't up under anybody, and that they weren't being taken advantage of, because she wanted to make it where Biggie's kids and her grandkids could live a good life after he passed away and after she left this
Would
earth.
she be paying attention to something that happened so long ago, though, like in 1997, a funeral?
They said they was on it as soon as Big passed. They said they were on top of every last dime dollar because they wanted to make sure that the kids would be straight for life.
Yeah, she said that was really important to her, even down to the fact that when they decided not to go back into a deal after they knew that Biggie recouped, that was her decision to do that. So she has been on it since. And he did say to me that the only reason why he's addressing this, he's not going to speak to anybody else, but he wanted to speak to us, and only wanted to address it because it's not fair for the people who, you know, are an extension of Biggie's legacy to have to be dealing with a lot of these rumors and these different allegations resurfacing when they're just trying to live their life. And this is actually family to someone. Someone lost a father, and you know, so it's.
Why wouldn't he tell the documentary makers, though? Because I'm sure the documentary makers reached out to the estate. Like when you're doing a documentary on the level of this documentary, I am almost positive that they reached out to Biggie's estate to ask questions.
He said he didn't want to be bothered until he didn't have a choice but to be bothered.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous, because now that whatever he's saying, I don't know if that's the truth or not. I don't know if those are facts, but I know the narrative, because of the documentary, is way bigger than anything that he could put out now.
I think they also told Lauren that they hate the fact that Biggie's name is mentioned in all this BS, that they didn't want Biggie's name in this bull crap, and that was a part of it. But like what Charlamagne also said, like, you know, salute to Wayne, he's actually been on the show, but what's the other guy's name?
Kirk.
If Kirk was doing the financing and he was the one that was paying the people,
he would know.
It was like, it's kind of like both sides, you know what I mean? Because you can hide money, right? You can say that, you know, that we really paid for this producer, but it went to this. I mean, but there's no ways but.
And you can't discredit Kirk, because Kirk was the co-founder, Bad Boy, and the president at the time. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always 2-3 sides to a story, so I'm just here to present them all as much as I can.
You already told us which one you believe.
No, I presented it first, and then you asked me a question.
So there you have it. This is a Biggie source denies claims made in the Netflix Diddy documentary. So you got some of Biggie's own people saying, yo, it's a lie as well. Certain things in the documentary was a lie. So I've gave you proof of a few situations where people who are from either Biggie's people, business people with Biggie's mom and all that, and from Biggie's camp, saying things in that documentary was a lie, and people who interviewed Biggie and was around when the things happened that have said that it's a lie as well. So we there's no way you've watched this and said, nah, they're chatting shit. These are I've just showed you pure credible sources. So anything else than this is just ignorance, any. But like I said, I don't care about Puffy. I ain't listened to Puffy since the 90s. I don't care if he stays in pen for the rest of his life or if he comes out. It don't matter to me. Free little Dirk, you get me? So it don't matter to me. But my whole point of making this video is the question, what I'm gonna say again, is it okay when you don't like someone to drag their name even more with lies? That's all it is for me. That's all I'm asking you lot. So if you lot are watching, leave them comments below and let me know what you think. But yeah, man, I just don't like lies, man. I just like the truth. If I can't kill you with the truth, I can't kill you at all. That's all my thing anyway. Let me know what you lot think anyway. If you're watching the channel, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, leave a comment below. I'm out.
I done sold all this dope for years just to become a YouTuber. Shit fucked up, y'all.